Welcome to another video from EarnPed.com. I'm StevieB, happy to have you all with us today. I'm here at the wonderful Zykion Citadel, my official home away from home. This is where I come when I need to clear my head, and today, man, do I need to clear my head. Let's take a big giant sip for this one. Because if y'all thought I blew my gaskets before with them announcing they were just canceling Mayhem via the forum, and with mini Mayhem, and with no boxes for summer migration, and with summer migration being a ped card blowout to try and reduce the liabilities they have to players, you have not even begun to see me blow my freaking gaskets. Okay, calm down, calm down, calm down, calm down. So, again, we keep rehashing the same problem in this game. Mindark thinks that they are responsible to no one for nothing and accountable for absolutely nada. So, the other day, about a week ago, roughly, maybe over a little bit over a week, they put a post on the forum, and they said, hey, we told y'all a long time ago, like over a year now, that there was a problem with the Yog pets. People were using them in Mayhem to circumvent the buff system, and it was giving people this massively, massively high reload speed they should have never had, which was allowing them to win competition after competition after competition. And therefore, they essentially cheated. They got items they shouldn't have been able to get out of the token trader. There's not much we can do about it. We're going to take care of it, and we're going to redo the Mayhem system. So they redid the Mayhem system. Now, keep in mind that all the new gear that they put in the Mayhem Token Trader, let's see if I got any points. No points. That's to be expected. I'll get some here in a minute. All of the new gear that they put in the Mayhem Token Trader, some of the best stuff, like the Nano Blade Modifieds, those were all taken out of the token trader right around the end of Easter Mayhem. And this announcement that I'm getting ready to tell you guys about did not happen until the end of May. Okay, so a full month and a half after Easter Mayhem ended. So they came out at the end of May, about a week and a half ago. Today's June 1st when I'm shooting this. You guys won't see this till like June 5th or June 6th. And they said, we have distributed the proper amount of tokens to anybody who was affected by the Yog issue. So if you participated in Mayhem back when it was a competition, and there was another player who used the Yog to get around the buff system, and they were able to beat your score, and they got tokens you were rightfully entitled to, we fixed that, it's been distributed, everybody's been made whole. Here's the problem with that statement. They did not release a list of the people that received the distribution. They deliberately did not give any names. They deliberately did not name names. So there's no way to know who got any tokens, if anybody. So, okay, I waited. I was on Next Island. I waited. I came back to Planet Calypso. I waited some more. Nothing. So I sent in a support case, and I'm going to read it to you guys. Hey, look there. You have gained 0.0377 experience in your athletic skill. It's not much, but I'll take it. Free defense right there. Even at level 50 evader, I still get free defense as Zykion. So I do not want to hear people talking about how it doesn't work, okay? I really don't. Evader level, 50.52. So I'm halfway to 51. Is it a ton? No, it's 0.0377. But do you have any idea how much more valuable that little bitty part of a point is worth now than 4 years ago when I very first did this? It's been 4 years and 5 days almost to the day since I started doing this. And this little bitty point award right here is worth so much more than those points were those first few days. So I waited, and I said, okay, Apparently I'm not getting any more tokens. So I'm going to stand still for a second while I read this to you. I know you guys can't see it, but I'm going to read it. So I sent in a support case. Per your official results. Now I Googled Halloween Mayhem 2018 results, Merry Mayhem 2018 results, so on and so forth. Okay? So these are from the official results for Mindark. Per your official results, Halloween 2018, my first Mayhem 6 months into the game, Cat 1 Annihilation 8th place. Merry Mayhem 2018, Cat 1 Annihilation 2nd place. Easter 2019, Cat 1 Annihilation 2nd place. Parentheses. First place was DIM Mercury. If you pull up their achievements, they haven't even killed a total of 50,000 creatures. So they went through the trouble to make an alt account, but didn't go through the trouble to use a Yog, yet blew my score out of the water. If memory serves, this should have been about the time I noticed something was massively wrong with Mayhem and first said something. So again, this is Easter 2019. Okay? DIM Mercury. User register. DIM Merc. Copy link. Avatar, view achievements. Planet Calypso. So a few achievements here and there. But here's what's really telling. If we go down to Entropia, hunting, first kill, you taking down your first creature. Now, it didn't have to be on Entropia. It could have been anywhere. First 10,000 kills, first 100 kills, first 1,000 kills. So we know they killed at least 10,000 creatures. First 505,000, first 5,000. That's it. So they never got to 50,000 creatures. I'm trying to see if there's a 25. I don't think there's 25,000. So we know they got to 10,000 creature kills before they quit playing, but they never got to 50,000. That's kind of telling, don't you think? Let's look at my achievements. Let's just see live. My avatar. Nope. Where are achievements? Should be here somewhere. No. Okay, anyway, let's move on from that. So, Easter 2019 defense, category 1, 2nd place. Same alt beat my score by roughly 30 seconds. So, on my 3rd Mayhem, Easter 2019, category 1, Annihilation I got 2nd place, defense I got 2nd place. Both to a known alt, but that supposedly did not use a Yog. Okay. Summer 2019, category 2, 4th place Annihilation. Halloween 2019, category 3, Annihilation 3rd place. Halloween 2019, category 3, Survival 7th place. Merry Mayhem 2019, category 3, Annihilation 3rd place. This one actually wasn't an issue. 2nd place is a friend, and 1st place is a friend of a friend's wife who also plays. So I can tell you that Merry Mayhem 2019, category 3, where I got 3rd place, 1st and 2nd place were legit results. I know that for an absolute fact. Easter 2020, Cat 3, 4th place Annihilation. Easter 2020, Defense Cat 3, 10th place. Summer 2020, Cat 3 Annihilation, 1st place. Halloween Mayhem 2020 and moving forward. Not 100% sure because your posted results only list the top 10 when I googled each event. After summer 2020, it was clear that it didn't matter how many times we said something is wrong, we would always get back copy and paste results. With the additional issues of cost to chip out, not being able to play between events, the unbalanced rewards so you could win multiple events and still not even get the worst prize, and the vendor being nearly empty of worthwhile prizes, I started treating it as a grind fest instead of a competition. I did participate in Halloween 2020, and Merry Mayhem 2020, but I'm not on the board because of that. Easter 2021, Category 4 Defense, 8th. The first place a full 50 minutes ahead of second place, just FYI. So the Yog issue didn't affect a single one of these Mayhems. I just happened to be in all the right categories with all the right scores, that the Yog issue just so happened to not mess with any of those results. 12 different competitions between Annihilation and Defense modes, spanning almost 3 years, 4 categories, and places from 10th all the way to 1st. And somehow magically I picked all the right categories and play modes that the Yog pet wasn't an issue. Or was I accidentally overlooked when you reviewed the Yog thing / distributed the tokens? None of those placements will change my life in a drastic manner. Even if they would, you waited so long to mod nano blades and half the other gear you restocked has already been pulled. But I want to double check and be sure that I'm that lucky that I picked the right category, Annihilation / Defense competition type, and got just the right placement every single time, that it wasn't an issue, because that's amazing even by my standards. Now, I think everybody would agree with me that it would be pretty impossible. I tell people all the time, bro, I'm just an idiot. I'm an idiot with YouTube. Okay, that is all I am. People are like, bro, you're so smart. No, I play the game. I like the game. I see the game as fairly straightforward if you follow certain sets of principles. Doesn't seem like the biggest deal, right? So I put it out there to give you guys content, to help you give you guys insight, because not everybody sees things the way I see things. But generally speaking, when I tell people, I'm like, yeah, so I've got this YouTube following, and they're like, man, you're kind of smart. And people are like, wow, they really don't know you. You're like the biggest idiot we've ever met. I'm like, I know, right? It's amazing even to me. So you mean to tell me that somehow, all the way back in roughly, I don't know, Easter 2019, I was sending in support cases saying, hey, something's wrong with Mayhem. Something is terribly, terribly, terribly wrong with Mayhem. You guys need to look into this. No, everything's fine. However, all the way between Halloween 2018, all the way up to the point where they redo it at summer 2021, I participated in every single Mayhem. Those last couple of Mayhems, I wasn't trying to compete. I was just kind of turning it into my own grind fest. You know what? If I got a placement score, I got a placement score. If I didn't, I didn't. So there was a time I was like number 17 on the list. Didn't care, because I wasn't going to spend that kind of money to gear up and go on those runs just to get slammed into 2nd or 3rd or 8th by people that were abusing the system. I just wasn't going to do it. So I participated in all the Mayhems, even the ones that I didn't list, because I was below 10th place on those ones. You mean to tell me I was in just the right categories, in just the right place in the winners list every single time? Every single time. Really? Do I seem that smart to you? Do I seem that lucky to you? No. Mindark is full of crap. And because there is no kind of government oversight, because there is no regulatory body, they don't have to announce who they redistributed the tokens to, if anybody. I'm not so sure anybody got any. I'm sure there's at least 1 or 2 people, but I would be hard-pressed to say that there's probably quite a few people that were indeed entitled to them that did not receive them. And we don't know, because they didn't put out a list. They didn't say these are the competitions, these are the people who use the Yog pet buff, so here's everybody who's entitled to it. That would have been very simple. That would have been very straightforward. Did they do that? No. Why not? Wouldn't that have seemed very, very basic? Wouldn't it have seemed like a good idea to say, hey, here are the people who use the Yog pet, here are the scores that were manipulated. If you're on this list and it affected you in any way, and you would like the Mayhem tokens, please holler at us. And then just give them out to whoever actually asked for them. Wouldn't that make a ton of sense? It would seem like it would, because what if some of those people don't even play anymore? We're going back 4 years. You mean to tell me that DIM Mercury still plays? No, he doesn't. There's no way. So I find it very suspicious that I am apparently the luckiest Mayhem player ever. Now, keep in mind, I was able to call it from the get-go several times. Now, I know I have a really, really bad track record when it comes to calling things. Like how I knew within moments that the Gold Rush scores were wrong, and everybody was like, no, they're not, and then guess what? They were. So you mean to tell me I'm wrong? How often am I wrong? Now, I might get math screwed up when I'm tired, or I might not say the right word all the time, or I might smack too much, or I might sip too much, or stutter a little bit. How often am I truly wrong? Not debatable. We can argue damage per peg versus efficiency because neither of us actually have access to the server to see the freaking algorithm. How often am I actually truly wrong? Somebody asked me this the other day at work. They said, when was the last time you were wrong? Second grade. I can tell you exactly when it was. It was Miss Blevins' class, second grade. And I was wrong. Until 6 years later when the Nobel Prize was awarded, and it turns out I was right. True story. Not the second grade one. This one is. I went to one of my teachers. I was a sophomore in high school. And probably one of my favorite teachers. I said, bro, I got a question. I said, I've got a cell phone that can get email. Now remember, this is circa like 2002, 2003, something like that. Probably late 2002, early 2003, somewhere there. I said, you know, I've got a cell phone here that I can get my email on, like a BlackBerry, right? And it wasn't like an iPhone. It wasn't like what we have today, where if you had internet on your phone, like internet on your phone just meant that like maybe you could read your email, and it was literally just in HTML, and that was it. There was no going to websites. There was no watching videos. There was none of that crap. It was very, very basic. You might be able to check your email if you're lucky. And that was the big thing with BlackBerries, is they let you check your email on the go. Now, I didn't have a BlackBerry, but let's say it was a BlackBerry. I said, the point is, my cell phone can get some sort of an internet signal. Maybe not a great one, but it can get an internet signal. And it's getting this from the cell phone tower. It's not necessarily pinging a satellite up in space, right? And I don't have to be hardwired into anything. So, I also have a laptop. Why couldn't we make a card that goes into my laptop that is provided by a cell phone carrier that would then allow my laptop to connect to the cell phone's network through their cell towers, that would give me internet on my laptop without me having to actually be near Wi-Fi or actually hardwired in through like an Ethernet port? And he laughed, oh no, that's not possible, it's not possible, it's not the same thing, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I was wrong. Technology didn't exist. Skip ahead to 2006, my senior year in high school. I walked in the door, and I threw down an AT&T wireless card on his desk. And he looked at it, and he said, what is that? I said, that, my friend, would be a card that you put in your laptop that connects it to the cell phone tower to give your laptop an internet connection. Oh. Again, I am an idiot. I admit I am an idiot. I admit I completely lack common sense. I might be able to tell you something I read 20 years ago. I might not be able to tell you something I read 5 seconds ago. And I am far from somebody who knows everything, which is why I always encourage people to do their own research. Think for themselves. Do not try and copy and paste everything I say and everything I do. Trust me, you don't want to go down that road. But generally speaking, if I'm going to try and give people advice, if I'm going to try and explain something to people that I think will help them, I am going to try and be as sure as I can be that I'm giving the best information possible. And when I get to know something inside and out, I try and do it in such a way that it is literally almost an extension of myself. I call BS. If I could get into Mindark, and I could get into their files, and I could see which of those Mayhem events was messed with the Yogs, I guarantee you one of the ones on that list is there. I will guarantee it. I would bet a ridiculous amount of money on it. I am not that good. I am not that smart. And the argument people would make would go, well, why would they mess with Category 1 or Category 2? I could see them doing it with, Category 8, 9, and 10. Why wouldn't they? if you're doing it with category 10, because that's where the big prizes were for, 40, 50, 60,000 tokens at a time, why wouldn't you also do it with category 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to keep the placement tokens out of the hands of other players? Because back when it was a competition, it wasn't just about winning as many Mayhem tokens as they could. Many of the players would also try and attempt to keep the placement tokens out of the hands of low-level players in categories 1, 2, 3, and 4. That way they could never reach up to get a prize. So why wouldn't they have used it? If anything, that's where you probably would have used it first, because that would have been easy. It would have allowed you to skill up. You're already going to be in one of the top tier categories anyway. It would have given you a warm-up round, and then you're off to the races. So, that being said, I'm going to leave it for there for today. Think of it what you will, but I promise you, if I could get into the records, that would not be accurate. I guarantee you, if I could get into the records, if I could force transparency on Mindark, somebody would be delivering me some Mayhem tokens. And this goes back to what I've said. They've been making bad decisions time after time after time for weeks on end now. At some point, they're somehow going to be held accountable. I don't know if it's going to be by the players. I don't know if it's going to be by all the paying customers that they end up running off on at a time. I don't know if it's going to be government regulation. Like I said yesterday, they've more or less turned migration into a casino, into the one thing they didn't want to be called. So at some point, somehow, Mindark is going to be responsible and answer to somebody. Even if it's on the day that they wake up and realize that they have nobody left because nobody trusts them anymore. And I really hope that's not the case. My point is not to drive people away from this game with stories like this. My point is to try and unify the community and bring it to more people's attention just how often Mindark screws up. Because I want to see the game thrive. I want to see the game be around for a very long time. And in order for that to happen, Mindark has to get their act together. They have to be responsible to the players. We are not beholden to Mindark. They're beholden to us. One way or another. And they can either do it voluntarily, or we can just create an insurgency and make them. And at this point, I don't know what else to do except for, like I said in the past couple of videos, boycott things like migration. Boycott things like mini Mayhem. Put in support cases every single time they do something stupid that is unacceptable. Now, like I said in the support case, would the tokens have changed my life? No. Given the categories I was in, it really wouldn't even make a difference at this point. With the way that Mayhem is now a grindfest, whatever few hundred or maybe 1,000 tokens I would get would not change the calculus at all for me. But the point is, they need to be held responsible. They should have taken care of this back when it was first a problem. They ignored it. They said, oh yes, it is a problem, we're going to rework it. They let all the best gear get pulled out of the trader yet again. Then they distribute the tokens, but now they don't even give you a list of who it was distributed to, so they can just say, oh, yeah, you weren't part of it. Yeah, I'm the most hated player at Mindark. I highly doubt that's correct. But that being said, hopefully moving forward, we will be able to come together as a community and get Mindark to at least have the bare minimum that it takes to make this game thrive. In spite of all that they do, hopefully we can make that happen. So guys, I've got a lot of content coming up for you. I will not be participating in migration. I will be going to Cyrene, Arcadia, Tulun, Monria, DSEC 9. I'll be checking out the new area by DSEC 9 I have not checked out yet. The Lotus Temples. I've got a whole bunch of mission chains we're going to be going over, and so much more. So stay tuned. Got a lot of videos coming up for you guys. Till then, hit that bell icon, subscribe, because every subscriber matters, every like matters, because there's always a hater waiting to hit that dislike button. Head over to earnped.com, because when you earn, we earn. That's the best way you can support us. Guess what? That helps us keep making new content. You might not love every single video, but if you love the majority of them, that's what matters. We know we weren't the first, we know we're not the only one, but when you choose to use EarnPed, it really means a ton to us. So we really appreciate it, guys. So I'm going to be here at Zykion for a while, getting some of that sweet, sweet defense skills. Till next time, guys, smack, smack, sip, sip. Y'all know the rest. Take care, Stevies.